There is this new high school culture of dating that is cocking a huge snook at what used to be the acceptable parameters of teen discipline, safety, and security. It used to be spoken of in hushed undertones, do you remember? But this gets louder as teachers, parents, and staff members watch young people push the envelope literally. Coming upon unexpected incidents of intimacy do not shock anymore, and it's fairly de rigueur to have the education spaces populated by dopey looking couples shuffling in an invisible pink bubble wearing school uniforms. It's as though the entire dynamics of the school system has swung from performance-based self-worth to relationships-oriented well-being. You watch that awkward spring to their steps and that shy voltage around them, you can't miss it. There used to be such a stigma attached to even a hint of these engagements in the past, but what do these relationships signify in a time and space that is earmarked primarily for learning and value addition? That is what school is for. So how is this emotional maze impacting one of the most impressionable and vulnerable segments of our population, the teens? I feel concerned. I have concern at this, what I called newfangled world of relationships where closeness is illusory. It's based on instant communication powered by text messaging and Google Talk. Where is the distance? Where is the breathing space to reflect on the friendship? The young just stumble from one emotional strife to another, hanging out or hooking up. There's a real danger of jealous and controlling behavior being mistaken for love here. And how about the other gender-based issues of unrealistic demands being made on either or partner? The adolescents, the teenagers, have a need for autonomy and a high dependence on peers. There's bound to be dating violence and sexual assault going unreported because of these factors, and as of now there seems to be nothing in the way of their first line of defense, because we're all in a blissful state of denial. We shake our heads and say that this problem may be exaggerated. It is not. There's a real, clear and present world of sexual hostility out there in the schools. It ought to be addressed with a stated policy on gender discrimination and sexual assault. And this ought to happen by individual institutions. We are not talking statistics or case histories here. We are talking real people, our friends, our students, acquaintances, family members at times. They are struggling with overwhelming emotions and pressures. So the first thing to do is to call attention to it. Too many young people are thrashing about in whirlpools of confusing messages without any clear roadmap from adults. And why? Because adults refuse to take their blinkers off. And these are civil rights we are talking about, the right of a student to receive instruction in a safe, comfortable and non-threatening space. Adults in charge of the young cannot use the excuse of having no knowledge of their adventurism to escape accountability. Sexual harassment starts with standing in the basketball grounds and rating the other gender on a scale of 10. And it happens with both men and women, boys and girls. First, acknowledgement has to come of the existence of this problem, and then we educate students on what is healthy and what is not, what is safe and what is not, what is empowering and what will damage them and their loved ones for life.